Login accepted.
Welcome to the tech capital of the world, Kernersville, North Carolina. I'm Bobby Davis, CEO and founder of Foundry. And we got the slow, smooth jams this morning. Kevin, how you doing?
We do. We do. It's funny because Clara scared me for a minute. Said no cool music today. I was like, hold on a minute. Yeah. Did I mess something up here? Because I was messing with something before the show here. And I was like, did I mess it up? Did I break it? Yeah. I was like, no. Because the next comment was never mind. There it is. So it was just quiet at the beginning.
Yeah.
It was just quiet. So yeah. And 17 Heroes has a bit of West Coast smooth lounge jazz to start the show today. And it's still playing in the background, so you guys can jam all you like.
We're smooth sounds.
We're smooth
Kernersville, North Carolina.
Yep. We get all of our music from Soundstripe. So if anybody's ever interested in that, you can get a Soundstripe subscription, and there's some good stuff on there. There really is. I think
it really is.
Yeah, some good stuff. It's not by known artists generally. It's not like you're not going to go get your Jay-Z's not going to be on there. But
right. It's unique production music. It's definitely really good.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a few. Epidemic Sound is another one. If you're into sound design stuff, that's another one that has good music on there too. So, good stuff.
So I just released something on Twitter. It's like the more dilemma for the day. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a So you can look it up and you can pull it up.
Let me pull it up.
It's a little poll. You guys can go vote on the poll if you want to. Follow me on Twitter if you're not. But
okay, here we go. I'm going to vote on it live. Where are
okay,
we? Yeah. So, okay. I am paid to push the button. I automate the task. Did I tell my boss? Oh, geez. Look, I mean, I'm going to just go for this one. No taking the day off. But probably I would go, yes, ask for a raise. It's like, no, I think that's a good point, actually. You bring up a good point. Like, it's almost you're being paid and you should be responsible for, like, automating it if you can, right? Isn't that a thing?
Right.
If you're holding the company back by manually doing something, I think that's wrong, right?
True story. This was a couple of years ago when this happened, but like true story, someone called me on the phone and they said, I'm doing traffic studies. And I'm like, you're doing traffic studies? And they're like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, what the heck's are you like counting cars on the road? And he goes, no, they send me video and I have to count the cars that cross this intersection. And I'm like, really? That's what you're paid to do?
Job?
And he says, I'm watching this video for like 20 hours of video or whatever it was, and I was like, ooh, I think I could automate that with like an image direct library and count all those cars for you, and just process the video and give them a count back,
That's
So
crazy.
that'd be wrong. So he had a physical device. He had a physical device with buttons on it.
Yeah.
All right. And it was like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know what it meant, but like you could push 4 for 4 cars, 2 for 2 cars.
This reminds me of Lost. This is the guy pushing the button in the thing in Lost, isn't it? It's like the guy under the island pushing the buttons because they think the world's going to end if you don't push the buttons. Like,
yeah. And I said, so number one, I'm like thinking the whole time, like, well, number one, like, okay, you're a highly motivated person. You start out and you're pushing the buttons, but after a while, you're just like, dude, one.
Right. No, you're right.
You're watching Netflix.
You're right. The data quality has got to go like through the floor,
so
hasn't it? It really has.
You need to process that thing. I said, I can't believe they asked you to do that. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
So it came back to me today because it was a friend of mine, and I'm like, just wanted to know.
That's great.
What people would do.
But my point is, you're being paid to like. Not just push the button, but to figure out a way to do the task, right? If you can automate it, automate it.
But if you're being paid to watch this 20-hour, 24-hour video, hourly, and then you process it in 15 minutes, and then you just take the rest of the day off. So does it matter if the result comes back the same? They get their data either way. So
yeah, I don't know.
Paid by the job, paid by the hour? I don't know.
But then the question is, do you have the then the question is, do you yeah, I mean, you said it right. Should you tell them? That's the real question.
Yeah,
it's not should you do it. 100% you should do it. It's whether you should tell them or not.
Should
There's no question about should you automate it. Of course you should. The question is should you tell them? And obviously the answer is yes, you should.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
But yes, ask for a raise is the right answer too. I like that. So that's good.
I could process a lot more of these. Just give me some more videos.
Exactly. Just give me a little bit more leeway, and I'll give you more. Yeah, we'll do a usual Q&A today, just like normal. Throw your questions in chat, and we will get to them. Just like we normally do. If you want to super chat to guarantee an answer to your question, you can do that too. Otherwise, I'll queue them up and we'll go through them just like normal. Anything you want to ask Bobby about being a developer, breaking in, his favorite video game. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, exactly. The nodding bird to press the stop
yes,
production.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's funny.
That's exactly it. Let's do this thing first before we talk about a couple of things. John wants to know, is there a coupon for the self-paced? There is not a coupon right now. Don't know when there will be one next. Don't know. We haven't got one planned, put it that way.
Yeah. We could make one, though. We could make one for John. We could.
John, tell me what you want your coupon to be.
Let's call his last name Infantante. That's a good name. Just name it his last name.
Okay.
That sounds like a good coupon name.
John, suggest a coupon and I'll tell you if it'll fly or not. Let's see. Copilot says to go a step further and get a count on which color car is most popular. You could totally do that too, right? I mean, you could automate something like that for sure.
Yeah, he's got Code Pilot down there, so he's that's GitHub talking to us. So
I like it. Oh yeah, maybe.
It's already talked to us. Sorry.
Are you real? Answer us back. Are you real? Are you a real person? We're gonna give you the Turing test. So a couple of things came up. Oh, one thing first. We've been playing. I didn't know until today, and you didn't know that I was playing. But we've both been playing Wordle recently.
Wordle,
I've been playing for the last maybe like 4 or 5 days. I haven't been playing a lot, but I'll play the daily thing. If you haven't played Wordle yet, it's funny because you'd seen, I think Scott Hanselman plays it as well, and I'd seen you saw David Fowler playing it, and
David Fowler was playing it. Yeah,
David got his in 3 today.
Yeah,
and so did you. And I was like, oh, and you tweeted it. I was like, oh, you got Wordle in 3 today. That's awesome. I didn't. Took me. What did I do? I did 4. It took me 4.
4's still good though.
4's still good. If you haven't played Wordle, this is it. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but this is the basically premise of it. You have 6 guesses to guess a 5-letter word. If you get a letter correct in the sequence, it shows green. If you get a letter in the sequence but in the incorrect place, it shows yellow, and you just have to keep guessing until you run out of all the letters or you guess the word. Or 6 tries or you guess the word. So if you can get it in 3's pretty good. 4's okay. 5's like, okay. 5 seems to be kind of like the average, I think I keep seeing. And then 6, you don't get it, you're doing something wrong.
I mean, like if you get 3, you get the note impressive. You get the whole Darth Vader thing.
You do.
You
do. It knows you've guessed is what it does.
It trained you well.
Because it is there's some tactics to it, but it's essentially a guess.
It is. I can tell you that we talked about it when you got yours in 4, and it was like you could easily guessed it in 3. I just guessed it.
I'll tell you, my 3rd guess was 1 letter wrong. So and I'm like, oh well, okay. If I had guessed this other word, I would have gotten it right. But So go play Wordle. It's a fun game. It takes gets your brain going for a few minutes. Get you thinking about things. Get you sort of like psyched up for the day.
But it doesn't suck all your time like some video games do. So that's on our next topic.
Exactly. Our next topic, which was I saw the story. I was reading. So I have the Apple News Plus subscription on my iPad. I was reading through it last night, and one of the things on there, one of the categories on there is gaming, and this story popped up. I was like, you need to play the best free first-person shooter of all time ASAP, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be like Fortnite, isn't it? Like, they already get stuff.
Yeah,
it's always Fortnite.
And I'm looking at this like, yes, what is this one?
Like, what is this? Yeah, I showed this to you. Like, what is this? I need to play this, and it turns out it's Destiny.
It's Destiny.
It's like, Destiny too.
Yes, I'm already playing that. And free. It is technically free. But
it's free. Really. The base game is free. Yeah. This guy says it's it's in the best shape it's ever been in, even back to the glory days of the first Destiny. Big update coming for the game too, with this
the Witch Queen 43 days update. To the Witch Queen.
Witch Queen that's coming out, so it's like a lot of stuff happening. This is a lot. The free content is great. There's so much stuff in there. There's so much stuff to do. He's talking about how much the loot system works and how the rolls on the weapons and stuff work. And it's like, wow, it's pretty good. It's
It's funny because I use the Scathe lock on the daily. That if you go up there, that auto rifle is what I use on the daily.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, I use that on the daily.
You know what you also mentioned, which I thought was good from a developer standpoint too, was he talks about somewhere at the end here. It wasn't in the story, but he talks about there's an extra. The Destiny item manager, which uses the Destiny API. So the Destiny API is apparently really deep. It's really good.
It is super deep.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about building something on it, but it also is quite complex. So like, for tutorial content on YouTube, I don't know.
It doesn't quite work.
Around the Destiny. Yeah, it's like there's a lot to it. So, but there's a lot of community apps that people build on that. That people use inside and outside of even the Bungie official apps. So Destiny Item Manager being one of those that everyone uses.
He doesn't even quote the official Bungie app. He says this Destiny Item Manager, third-party inventory management system is just better.
It's better. So, and there's some other ones out there like I forget what it's called, but it'll equip your best armor in and out of your vault. So like say over 5 years you've collected thousands of pieces of armor.
Oh wow, okay.
And it'll look through the stats of each individual piece, and then you can tell it like, okay, I want an armor based around this, and it'll go out and find it and then equip it on your character, and like you don't have to go researching through it. So one of my raid guys tried it out, and he found these boots, and he's like, how come I've never used these boots? These things are amazing. What about I've messed up here. So
you saw that. So, I mean, you saw that thing, that screenshot that I showed right here. Look, this is like, if I can make that any bigger, I don't think I can.
Complex,
this is your inventory for a single player. You have your 3 characters, but this is your vault. So you can see how much stuff you can put in it. I think they said it's 500 items.
And everyone's complaining that we want 1,000, and they're like, no, we're not doing that.
So stuff's going to get lost.
There's a popular Twitch streamer out there on Destiny or YouTube, Dado, and he goes through people's vaults, and he plays like hoarder. Like, you need to get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, and he's like cleaning up their vaults for them. It's very funny if you're into Destiny. So like, because he calls them hoarders.
That's funny. It's been a long time since I played it. Maybe I should I should play it again.
So yeah, we'll have our annual Twitch stream when we're going to chase down the 24-hour clear of Witch Queen. So like that'll be our getting my team together. We're going to do it this year. We've failed twice already, but we'll do it this year.
And when is this? When does this come out?
It's in 43 days.
Oh wow, not that you're counting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
43 days, 7 hours, 8 minutes.
Yeah, so all of us right now are going through the last month to make sure that we have all 3 characters leveled up in case there's a meta that comes out that you want to be able to like hit the Witch Queen on. So you gotta be ready. If you want to get in 24 hours. If you're just a casual player, you can clear it. It's easy to clear, but in the first 24 hours, we may need a certain strat or something like that. So
I'm just gonna jump in solo, having never played before, and do it in the first 24.
That's it, man. The solo raid. So
okay. Interesting. I don't know. How did you find us? I don't know. How are you here?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We are a coding bootcamp, man. We teach people to code .net. So you can go to shameless plug, learn.coderfoundry.com.
Oh, you can. You can find out all about us right there.
Yeah.
If you want to find about, or you can just go to coderfoundry.com too.
Yeah, and go to coderfoundry.com.
That's who is Coder Foundry.
Yeah.
It's not a person.
No, not yet.
It probably should be what is Coder Foundry, maybe. Who is? I guess you is. Bobby is Coder Foundry. I guess that's it.
I'm Coder Foundry.
That's it. Let's see.
Yeah, ask me a question. If you got anything important, just hit us on the super chat.
Clara says, being a game an unwritten expectation for coders.
No, that's funny. You should ask that, Claire. I don't think so, but
I think it's a stereotype. We just fulfill the stereotype. That's all.
I fulfill the stereotype, but like, I was on Twitter the other day, and someone asked the question. And he says, "I'm a coder, but I also have outside interests. I study math. What do you do?" And I wrote back, "Does Destiny count?" And he wrote back, "I guess." ... Like, I'm underachieving in my life.
Exactly. He was expecting like neuroscientist on the side, and you're like, Destiny.
I'm counting exoplanets and stuff like that. And I got a telescope in my backyard, so no, I waste my time on video games. So
that's funny. I wonder why there is such a correlation there. I guess it's because it is techie. It's a similar kind. I don't know. Maybe it's a similar kind of skill set. Maybe a similar kind of mindset. Yep. Video games are often problem-solving exercises. Yep. So there's a hand-eye coordination thing with it too. I don't know. Yep. There's definitely a correlation though. You're right. A lot of coders are gamers. A lot of gamers are also coders. So.
Yep.
I don't know. Okay, let's get to some questions then.
All right, cool.
Let's see. Richard said, what future technologies are coming to self-paced? Is a good idea to look into what those might be before the courses drop?
You can. What we're working on right now is WebAssembly. That'll be the next thing that'll come out in very short order. They're recording that now. So you'll see Web API, which we don't currently have in there. And the Web API being our back-end services, REST services, and then we're putting a WebAssembly with Blazor on the front end. So that'll be the next thing that comes out. And then after that, we're going to hit up our MVC projects and redo them in .NET 6. So that's kind of the general course direction for the next, 3 months or 6 months.
We're also going to have here shortly, later this week. I've been promised later this week some more bug tracker stuff. So that's kind of the plan. I don't know exactly what day or whenever, but whatever we have ready by at some point later this week, that's going to be there. So the second part of bug tracker, the main kind of part that'll take you to a fully working app, will be in there too later this week. So
cool.
Working on that, and then we have a few things to finish up with that. But Antonio's adding that in right now. Let's see, Ryoku. If gamer only applies to video games, I know a dev who is really into board games. Yeah, no, same thing though too. There's a puzzle solving aspect to it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of board game. Like I have a group that I play Destiny with, and they're in. I don't have time for that, but they're into board games, Magic. I mean, they're into lots of things.
Yeah,
So
I like board games. All the strategy board games are great. I'm
Yep.
not really into the ones that are really like deep, long board games. I like the ones that are like, there's a great game. The One Night Werewolf game is a great game.
Oh no, you got me on that.
Party games
That's
is like,
amazing.
it's such a good game. It's great because it's a social skills game.
Yeah.
It's a social skills game. You basically got to either lie or find a liar, and it's like, and the social skills that you need to do that are it's fun, really fun. If you never played it, go check out One Night Werewolf. Such a fun party game.
Yep.
Okay. Jorge wants to know Angular versus Blazor. There are jobs now for Angular or React. Is it worth learning Blazor now, or wait till you feel comfortable with one or the other front-end frameworks?
Oh, I think right now today, if you don't know how to code, React's probably in more use than Blazor is right now today. I think you're going to see uptick in Blazor projects this year. If you're already a developer, definitely look into Blazor, because you may get onto a project that you normally couldn't get. You may can earn more money because Blazor being new, but definitely I think there's more jobs right now for React if you just look at total number of jobs out there than versus Blazor today. Now that may change over the next 12 to 18 months, but we'll see. That's why we're teaching it, because it is very new. This is the version of Blazor that's going to be adopted because of a lot of the improvements that came out with .NET 6.
Mr. E got a 4 out of 6. Good score.
4 out of 6. That's a good score, Mr. E.
4 out of 6 is a good score.
Yep.
Okay. Eduardo wants to know, is .NET pushing Java out of the enterprise market?
I don't think that's their stated goal, but I think there will always be Java. There's so much legacy code out there that Java's going to be in the enterprise for quite a while. .NET is just trying to push the envelope on what they're doing. So they're more focused on what they're doing, not necessarily what Java's doing. So if you look at the language enhancements in C# and F#, that is constantly being pushing the envelope out there from Microsoft. They're also pushing the tooling market with Visual Studio, VS Code, and they're also pushing the back-end developments, the ecosystem, like if you have .NET MVC, or you have Blazor, or you have the web APIs, all of those things are using the C# language, all run on top of .NET. On top of that, they're also making it cross-platform, so it literally runs anywhere with or without containers. And then when you throw in .NET MAUI on top of that, where I can now build desktop apps with that, yeah, it's going to be competition towards new work. So if a new project comes up, What are they picking? Are they picking .NET? Are they picking Java? It depends on what they know coming in. There's also the speed component where .NET 6 is really outpacing Java by a large margin in the pure speed metrics. And so that may cause people to switch over. But for now, I mean, you got Spring MVC, you've got a lot of things going on inside the Java realm. Will Oracle continue to innovate there? I don't know. But it sounds like Microsoft's going to really kind of innovate. And I think that's what's got me more excited about .NET over Java, just the innovation and the way that they're pushing it out.
We never get this
question. Microsoft soldiers. We're sold up. We're sold to the man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Or no is the answer. Let me see what else. Adidia says, thanks for the previous answer. My question is, what should be the approach of newbie towards learning DS and Algo? I'm an eco major and decided to have Web Scratcher as my first project.
I think newbies need to learn to build projects. That's our approach. So if you come to Coder Foundry, we're going to teach you how to build projects. Our secondary would be DS, which you're going to learn about arrays and those kind of things, and just learning how to build .NET projects. And Algo would be our third thing. I see so many people reversing those, and they only do algos, and they can answer those questions, but when they get on the job, they struggle because they've never really built anything. So I think building things is way more important than those other things, and you'll learn those things as you build stuff. But if it makes you feel more comfortable, I mean, they may never ask you how to reverse a binary tree in an interview, but they may ask you to build something over a 3-day like take-home test. So if you don't know how to do that, you won't get the job. So I think building things is more important.
Okay. Next, is big tech to unicorn startup and to entrepreneurship a good transition?
Oh, so you started in a big tech, then you went to a unicorn startup.
Let's say you're working at like Google, you made you had a startup, and then moving into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I think that's fine if that's what you want to do. If your goal ultimately is to run your own thing, I mean, that's a good thing. I'm an entrepreneur, so that's what I do. But I can tell you in all three of those phases, as long as you're getting paid, it's not bad. I can tell you this, though, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, and it doesn't pay as much as you would think sometimes. And you know, you got to make money on that thing, so you got to be a salesperson. So the big tech, you can be more lucrative sometimes. But it may be about freedom and all that other stuff, too, that goes into that. And then, so there's a lot of things in there. Just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't make that you've reached the pinnacle necessarily. It's no better than the other one. So it's just a different way of doing stuff. But that's a good plan if you want to do that.
Who wants to know what was / is the big surprise you had for us this year?
We haven't done it yet. So like we're going to do it.
It's coming.
So it's coming.
Coming.
So we got a couple of things that we got to build for it. So we're going to show you.
Yep. But there is still a cool something.
Yeah. The biggest thing we've done yet. We just haven't done it. We're going to do it though.
When do you plan on a Xamarin Maui section?
As soon as Maui gets closer, we're watching the latest preview 11. So like we're going to look at that to see how close it is to start building things on it. So it doesn't change dramatically when we release content. And then we have to go back and change it right away when the new stuff comes out. So as it gets closer to release, we'll start releasing stuff in there, but we're definitely going to do Maui for sure.
Yep. Oh, here's an interesting question. I'm not sure I had this one before, but I like this. This is a technical question that I'm not sure the answer to this one. So I want to know how this is. Do you have to rebuild your projects with every new version of .NET with yearly releases?
So you can target a framework. So like with .NET 6,
right.
It's called LT.
Yep.
Yeah, it's LTS, long-term support. So I would imagine a lot of enterprise companies will just stay on .NET 6 for 3 years. But you can just recompile under the new version and retarget the framework, recompile it. And it just depends on what the changes are. And sometimes there's breaking changes, sometimes there's not. Sometimes they change the way projects are structured, so there is code changes. So you have to make that call each and every year, but you don't have to run the latest version of .NET. And I imagine a lot of companies will not run .NET 7 necessarily.
Because that's not going to be an LTS version, right?
Right.
Isn't every other one now they've said it's going to be
every
LTS?
other one.
Okay.
Right. But there could be some really compelling things. We don't know yet what's coming down the pipe. And so if there's something really compelling inside of .NET 7 that you want, then companies will move over to it.
Right.
The thing that should have you comforted is this 12-month release cycle is ambitious, even for a company like Microsoft, but it's their commitment to innovation and commitment to constantly improving the platform means that you as a developer investing in that platform is a good move, because it's always going to be faster, newer, better, and things like that. And so companies tend to adopt stuff like that that's constantly being worked on. So, but you don't have to recompile it.
There's another good question. Zacchaeus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, do you recommend I learn web dev even if the market in my country is not huge in that department?
No. If you're going to work locally, then work where the jobs are. So if, depending on where you live, I don't know what country you're in, but let's say that it's desktop development, learn desktop. If it's mobile, learn mobile. If it's embedded electronics, then learn embedded electronics. In the US, web dev is huge. It's huge around the world. So that's why we recommend it. But if in your little world, if it's different, learn how to do that.
Yeah, we're not going to suggest, like, from a learning path, we never suggest, like, the easiest thing to learn.
No.
We suggest learning what you, if you're looking for a job, what can get you your foot in the door. Like,
yeah.
That's what you need to learn. What's the point of learning something because it's easy if you're never going to get a job in it? So it's not that web dev is easy. It's that there's employment there. So that's why we suggest web dev.
Right.
Okay, N17 Hero says, I've worked on a Java project recently after not doing it for a while, and it feels a bit like it's lost its way versus C#.NET. I would choose the latter for a new project.
You know, and that's my opinion too. I just think that from a competitive landscape, Microsoft is really dedicating resources, time, and money to making sure that C# and .NET development is the best that it can be. When you look at announcements from Java, you got to ask, are they committed to doing it at that pace? Are they committed to constant innovation, or are they just going to let it ride with the way it is with kind of incremental changes to it? So that's the way I look at it. And then Java being dropped from Android development as the go-to language in Google's in favor of Go, Dart, and Flutter and those kind of things. So like, that's another hit for Java. And I'm not saying Java's dead by any stretch. Okay, I understand that it's used widely overseas and widely in web dev. I get that, but like, you got to start, and this is what I always tell people, you got to look at the landscape a little bit and see kind of where everything's going, so that you're not caught flat-footed when suddenly you look around and you're like, man, I can't get a Java job anymore. What do I do? So, but plenty of bank projects are using Java, plenty of large enterprises are using Java, and it's going to be that way for a while. But brand new stuff, I'd pick .NET. It seems to be more modern.
Okay. Do you think .NET is being used in the space industry, NASA, SpaceX, etc.?
I guess I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine. But like, what is the Mars rover running? I think it was running Java at one point. I think it was, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I would also think that they're also using C, and they're also using lots of things. I mean, so when you're talking about NASA, there's a lot of things. But what's the OS on the rocket? I don't know. I mean, SpaceX. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. You'd have to ask Elon Musk. It's good. Ask him what he's using.
Well, we like .NET, so we're just going to say that it's C#. There's going to be some other dudes like, I like JavaScript, so I'm going to say it's JavaScript. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Yeah. But you're right about Java. I just looked it up. It ran the rover, the one that died, I think. Yeah. So we're talking back to 2004.
It died.
Oh, we're talking what?
When it died.
Oh, it's from 2004. So I mean, it was up there for a minute. But like, what would they choose today? I have no idea. But you're right. It was Java at one point. Let's see. John wants to know also how many hours in the self-paced course do we have? Somebody counted up the video hours, and I can't remember what it was off the top of my head now.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, I can't remember what it was.
It's not like 40 hours like you see some courses. It's hundreds and hundreds of hours, so it's a lot.
Yeah, plus you have to take into account, it's not just, see, with a course, it's not just about watching the video.
Yeah, you got to do the work.
A 15-minute video can take
yeah.
you like an hour's worth of work or 4 hours worth of work. Like it's
a lot of content, John. You'll be happy with the amount of content we have out there.
Definitely.
So I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not shallow. I can say that. Paul wants to know what's your opinion on Rider. You use this?
So I've used it a couple of times. It's cool. I mean, like it's cool. I mean, and if you don't know what Rider is a it can be a Visual Studio competitor. It's you pay to use the IDE. So like it's cool. I mean, like I will say this, if you're in a shop and they're mixing Rider and Visual Studio, you could run into problems. So the shops need to fully adopt Rider. It's not something that's interchangeable. I know someone's going to hit me on that, but like I've seen problems where people run into issues, and so it can be more of an annoyance. It doesn't crash it. It just that it can make the project files a little bit different. But like, no, I think it's great what JetBrains is doing. I've used a lot of their products, so I think it's if you want to try another IDE, you do have to pay for it. It's kind of cool.
Ooh. Okay. He wants to know, is Microsoft's website the best place to learn Blazor?
You'll have to see. There's some books out there. There's probably a course out there. We're getting ready to release something. So be lots of places out there. I don't know how much learning content for Blazor is on Microsoft's website. So, but there's lots of places today that you can go learn it.
Hey, Mikey says, how far does Microsoft share their new releases for the upcoming year?
Just watch the .NET blog and you can pay attention. They preview all these releases. So .NET 7 will be out. There'll probably be something every month talking about the different versions. Now with .NET, you got to understand it's mobile, it's web, it's desktop. And so all of those things are split out into camps when they talk about these different things. So there's not this overwhelming thing. But yeah, the .NET blog you can watch and see kind of what they're talking about, where they're going. You can get pre-releases of it, so it's going to be pretty often. Every month you'll see something coming from them.
Yeah, they seem to be definitely pushing stuff out. So you're seeing at least for the next year, they're kind of giving definitely their next year roadmap. They're giving you. Sure. Yeah, seems to be pretty common these days.
Yeah, so in other words, it just doesn't drop in November. Hey, .NET 7's here.
Hey, exactly.
You've already had like 5 preview builds. You've been trying it out, those kind of stuff. If that's interesting to you, or you can just convert when it comes out. If it's not that, if you don't want to keep up with that.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, let me just get to this comment real quick. John says, I already know how to code, so I probably will skip HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I just learned the wrong stack for my state. They use C# down here. Now I only know JS backend. What state are you in, John? I'm just interested too.
Yeah.
Always to.
Yeah. So like, definitely you can, if you already know HTML and JavaScript, then you can jump into the intro to C# and see.
And already knowing Node will just help you some way.
A little bit, yeah. You'll understand kind of what the backend is.
Exactly.
So it'll help out.
Let me see. What else did I see? Oh, look about this real quick. Everyone wants to know, can we lower the price?
We do give a coupon out on the annuals, so sometimes we do that. So
yeah, but how cheap would you like it, Edwin? Like, what would you? What do you think a fair price is? Bearing in mind, in-person boot camp costs $15,000. So what should our self-paced course cost?
And it's the same content too. So
exactly. So
just don't have an instructor.
Tell me.
Video content.
Okay.
We do run specials every now and then, so on the annual price, we'll push something.
We do. Yeah. You keep an eye out for that. Patricio wants to know, think of Moxie's worth your. I haven't read it yet. I saw that was out there. It popped up in my newsfeed last night, but I haven't read it yet.
No, I haven't read that either.
Yeah, I haven't read it. So maybe we'll talk about that on Thursday, maybe.
Yeah.
I had a chance to look at it. Clara has a great question. Are the skills required for an HTML email developing position similar to web dev?
So I would say with HTML emails, it's actually different, and it's less skills that you got to know, but there's different skills. And so I would say that you run into another set of problems because of the limited things that you can do with an HTML development. So like, for example, you can't like bring in full on Bootstrap into HTML development. So you're kind of stuck with a very limited tool set because of the way that works. And so you have to be more creative and get it to look good. You have to like use that limited set and make it look good.
It's like the very beginnings of
a broader
like
skill set. Yeah.
There's like the very
definitely
beginnings
a broader
of
set of skills.
Yeah.
But we've had people leave their cohorts here and go to HTML email developing position. They're doing well. They make pretty decent money, and like it's fairly easy for them. So I think it's a good position if you can get one.
Hold on, let me just put this up here. Advent wants to pay $15 for some courses in Udemy.
Oh no, that's not gonna happen. Sorry, Vance.
Sorry.
So like
we value our content.
Bigger. Well, no, it's way bigger than that. It's like there's a lot more stuff out there. So we may actually carve out different individual pieces and like make smaller courses that are cheaper in and around like a certain topic. But right now, when you go to Code Foundry, it's everything we have and every future thing we're going to make is going to be included there. So it's more like a platform than a particular course. So once Blazor and Web API and all that stuff comes out, it'll just be thrown in the mix down there, and you can learn that now, even though that's wasn't the initial reach of it. So it's a little bit different. Our strategy is a little bit different. So understand it's expensive. I get it.
Yep. Just to
yes.
tack on to Clara,
yes.
So CSS fairly well.
Yeah, you have to, CSS very well.
Yeah, especially layout stuff with CSS too,
yeah.
for like the email stuff.
Yeah. And then just knowing what your restrictions are. You know, that kind of stuff, what you can and can't do. There's things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like developing for a different browser almost, like whatever the email clients can do.
Right. Oh, here you go. Rich Raider says the Sojourner rover software was written in C. There you go.
That makes sense.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smaller, compile. I get it. Yep.
Okay. Racemere. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
No, I apologize. Says hello. I'm starting my CS degree soon and want to figure out what path to take so I can prepare myself. What's the best way to break into the industry and to start learning now to prepare for it?
So right now you're going to be in your CS degree, and that's going to take up most of your time. Okay. So that's going to take you 3 or 4 years of your life. So, but the thing that you can do to prepare is to build projects and show people your work when you do graduate. So that's what you can do now. So right now you need to go to your classes, take your classes, learn everything you can. And then as you go through the years, you got to start figuring out, okay, I need to build something. I need to build a project so I can show someone when I get ready. That could be your 3rd year, it could be your 4th year, it could be your 2nd year, but build stuff. Hope that helps.
Okay. Copilot says JetBrains Rider has way too many subtools. Sharper.grace.cover.memory.p. It's a great tool, but Circus going on 24/7.
So
maybe those are features though. I don't know.
Yeah, they're different things. So we've used ReSharper, and you can buy that and just tack it on the Visual Studio. So
what does that do?
It's like an IntelliSense tool.
Oh, okay.
Helps you code completion and IntelliSense. Okay. So yeah, if you don't like all that stuff, but they've got, you don't have to use .NET Trace, but it's kind of cool. I mean, like it's to see kind of what, where the code is falling down, where you're spending most of your cycles, things like that. So there's a lot of things that they have built. It's
okay.
Cool.
Are these generally tools? So are these tools that Visual Studio has built in already? Then is that what we're saying? Or these add-ons? So
there's some stuff in there. Like ReSharper is improving the way that works default by Visual Studio. So they're bringing extra, probably what they think, oh, I see what you're trying to do there, Visual Studio. We're going to do it a little bit better. We're going to do make it more comprehensive. It's kind of what their goal is.
And are these things, is it price-wise, are these things fairly cheap? You looked at these?
No.
They're not cheap.
I haven't
they're
looked
expensive.
in a while.
Oh, okay. You haven't looked.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they're like consumer cheap or they like business cheap.
Yeah, you can buy it on your own. You can buy it on your own, but we could go look and see what a Rider subscription is.
I'm just wondering now, yeah. Let's look.
Let's look it out there.
So, yeah, it is interesting. Let's see. So they have a 30-day trial. Maybe they...
Let's get the buy button.
Okay, so you get the whole pack for $240. Oh, $249 a year. Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's business cheap, I guess. It's definitely business cheap. If you're a business and you're doing that, that's
Yep.
but as a consumer, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess if you're making money, if you're using it to make money, not just a hobbyist, this is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's annual billing too. If you monthly, $25 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
You get all of these things.
Yep. I like it.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. I didn't know. I've never looked at it before.
You know what? I'm gonna cut the stream short, Kevin. If I can do that real quick.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop off and
okay.
I'm gonna hit the go do something real quick.
Okay. No problem. Okay. We got to run. Sorry, guys. We'll be back on Thursday.
See you.
Bye.